The Taito Egret 2 Mini, or is it Egret? Either way, I don't really care. Correct me and I'll punch a baby in the face. Body slam that fool. It's not that big a deal. But we did talk about this thing not too long ago. I was kind of excited for it. I still am. But it's a pretty pricey endeavor. Holy crap. There's a lot of additional things you could buy for this. Multiple controllers, a specific controller that comes with additional games, that kind of thing. And as this is a Japanese-only product, it can be a little pricey to import it, right? Now, we do have some news concerning all that, as there's supposedly going to be another model coming out. We'll talk briefly on that in a moment. Not a lot of information concerning that. That'll be for another video when I get more information. But since the last time we spoke on this device, there's been a lot more information to come out, including every single title that's going to be available on it. So I wanted to quickly take a look at that real quick. But yeah, right now, I mean, I'm still excited for this thing, but it is pretty expensive when you really look down in it. Like this one that comes with all the controllers, the spinner, the arcade stick, the standard gamepad. The videos that I've seen, they do look pretty nice. Big, a lot bigger than I initially thought they would be. That's what she said. But man, if you're going all in, that's 49,478 yen. That's a lot of money. That's like, what, over $500, depending on, how the currency trades, but, converts or whatever. But yeah, $500. Then to get it imported, to pay shipping, another few $100s from what Amazon Japan's been doing. A lot of us notice that if you order everything separately, the shipping is cheaper, which is kind of weird. Why would the shipping be cheaper for me to order the controller separate from the main unit instead of just you have the whole bundle and ship it all at once? Seriously, like this bundle is like a couple $100. Ridiculous. Save money by ordering everything separate. I don't know why. That's just the way they're doing it. But yeah, they have that bundle like $500. This bundle, 32,978 yen. That just comes with the little spinner, the spinner, the dial, and then a little trackball. I mean, nice looking controller, but holy crap, expensive, right? That's the controller that comes with the 10 additional games. They do have some artwork for the SD card there. So nice. And there's a soundtrack. Like that's the one thing, like if you're really into these special bundles, that's the only way you're getting the soundtrack, the discs and all that stuff. If you order everything separate, you're not getting the discs. So it's like, okay, do you want to pay all that extra money? That's up to you, bro. But here we go. I want to take a quick look at the game list. This is the controller that comes with the little 32 gigabyte SD card that comes with the 10 additional games. So paddle games and trackball games. Nice. Paddle action. There's the other two controllers. If you buy these individually, like this controller is 12,000 yen. This one, the arcade stick, is 8,778 yen. So it's still like almost $100. And then the little hand controller, 3,278 yen. So like over $30. It's a pretty pricey thing, man. Am I still excited for it? Sure, but it doesn't come out until March of next year. So we still got a lot of time to decide. If you pre-order through Amazon Japan, they don't charge you right away, but you do have to pay attention because they're, sometimes with pre-orders with them, there'll be a cutoff date to cancel. I would pay attention to that. I typically haven't had an issue. I don't think this item has like where it's like, oh, you can't cancel it, but double check, right, if you're actually interested. So we did take a look at the first public titles that they announced. We'll go through everything real quick here. But yeah, some cool games for the most part. Bubble Bobble, Space Invaders, Don Doko Dawn, the New Zealand Story, Kadash. What was this one? I don't remember what this one was. I can't read Japanese. But you know what? If we just scroll all the way to the bottom where we click on one of these, it'll start giving us a description of all the games that are included. So if we just keep scrolling down, you'll see everything that's going to be available. Adventure Canoe. Can't wait for that one. Not every game on this system. There's like a total of 50 available games. It's going to ship with 40 plus those 10 additional paddle trackball games that you can get if you get that controller. If you don't get it, then you don't get the games, whatever. But I mean, not every game here is going to be exciting for everyone. Like looking at this Adventure Canoe, these early 80s games, maybe not so much for me. Some of them, yeah. Elevator Action's a good one. All right, so going back to the top of the list here with all the announced titles, I just want to scroll through this and then get to the history and comment on a few of the titles that I'm looking forward to. So there are 40 games total. I will put a link in the description so you can, really look at everything if you like. But they did have multiple announcements bringing up, all the additional games. So we have the complete list here. 40 titles that are built in, plus the 10 additional for the paddle and trackball expansion, right? So there is all that. Now we get to the history here. It's not in order of the way they announced it. It's in order of release date when the games originally came out. You're going to have stuff from the late 70s, early 80s. Some of this stuff still holds up to today. Some of it maybe not so much. It's really going to be like subjective, up to you if you see some value behind this. Every game that's included on this device, you can play on a Raspberry Pi. You can play on your PC. We already know that. This is more of something that a collector would want. But at the same time, like I said earlier, I do have a little bit more information I want to talk about in a moment. Just want to point out a handful of games I like. But Quicks here. I always call it Kicks because it's Kix, but I love that game. Drawing little squares to occupy space. Don't get hit by the spiral death trap. And keep progressing. I played this on multiple consoles, but I love that game. It's an early 80s game. Very simple. A lot of these games are. But that's one that still holds up for me. Maybe not for you, but I love it. Marine Date, I think that was one of the trackball games or spinner games. What else do we have here? That Adventure Canoe. Some of these games just don't pop out for me. Elevator Action is an awesome one, but Elevator Action Returns is on here as well, and that's a really cool one. I mean, both of them are, but I prefer Returns. So Legend of Kage, that's a fun game. I like the arcade version because that's the version I played. I don't remember playing the NES version until way later on. But it's a pretty fun game. Little ninja type action, jumping through the trees, fighting these fools. It's a pretty simple one. Once you get the hang of it, you could blast right through it. Bubble Bobble, love Bubble Bobble. What else do we have here? Arkanoid. There's like 3 Arkanoids on here. What else do we got? Yeah, Arkanoid Revenge of Dough. Plump Pop. This is one that I like, and it reminded me of something. So Taito, I don't think they're completely to the max level of whoring out their properties. They're getting there, though. They're getting there. But a lot of these games I did notice are on the Ask Games Legends arcade machine, which Ultimate Arcade Machine, which I think is a nice device. It's a cool machine. But yeah, a lot of these games are on there. And I have played this one, Plump Pop. I actually really like this one. Protect from the demons that threaten the Plump Republic. It's like you either use the spinner or the dial. I know on the other machine you can use the arcade stick, but it just doesn't feel right and you can't move fast enough because you're like the parents of this little bastard kid and you're like throwing him up in the air, like putting his life in danger to protect, from the demons, right? Fighting aliens and shit, throwing your kid at them. I guess, man, but it's a fun one. That's a fun one for sure. What else do we have here? I'll put a link in the description so you can take a look at all this stuff. Cybalion, I don't know how to say that. Don't really give a shit, but that one's on the Legends machine as well, and that's a fun game. Tatsujin, great one. A lot of people are going to appreciate that. Violence Fight, mediocre fighting game. Kadash, I like Kadash. Camel Try, no camels in this one, but you're just moving around a marble through like a maze. It's a fun game, but yeah, there ain't no fucking camels in there. A lot of shooters here, horizontal and vertical. It does list on here the genre and then the direction of the screen. So you got to remember with this device, just like the arcade machine, the screen can be adjusted vertical or horizontal. That's one thing. Maybe that's why this is a kind of pricey device, because even if you just buy the base unit, it's like $200. So you got to keep that in mind. Liquid Kids Adventure. Protect Woodreek from the magical hands of Fire Satan. Fucking just got serious here. Enemies can be defeated by stunning them with a liquid kids and kicking them. Pow, kitty. Liquid, what? Okay, I guess, man. Gun Frontier. Growl. This is like a game about poachers. Yeah. Oh my god. Some people might dig that one. Now we're getting into the 90s here. Hat Trick. Ninja Kids is a cool game. Metal Black. I like that one. I do like that one. Rayforce. I was happy to see Rayforce on here. That is a fun game, beautiful looking game as well. Still holds up to today, in my opinion. Kaiser Knuckle, mediocre, another mediocre fighting game. Some people may love it, I don't. I ain't gonna fight you over it. I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Darius Gaiden. I don't give 2 shits how you say it, but Darius is a dope game. Very happy to see that there. Bubble Symphony's a cool one too. I was happy to see they announced that. Elevator Action returns. There's so much going on in this game. It is so beautifully animated with all the sprite, pixel art and whatnot. Great looking game, man. Fun one. Love that one. Puzzle Bobble 2X, another one I was happy to see on here. They took Puzzle Bobble 2, they added an X to it. Boom. Puzzle game. Love it. If you played Bust a Move, Puzzle Bobble on the Neo Geo, you know what to expect. Awesome freaking game. Puzzle Memories, I'm not too excited for that one. Arkanoid Returns, there's like 3 Arkanoids here. Pushy Carrot, it's another puzzle game. And that's pretty much it, man. There's 50 total, which includes the 10 paddle games. You have to keep that in mind. The one thing I want to mention, is it is an expensive device. If you pre-ordered it from Amazon Japan or Play Asia, I know people are like, man, do I want to buy this? Do I not want to buy it? This is more of something for a collector, in my opinion, as far as how it's set up. I like a lot of these types of devices. The Sega Astro City Mini is my favorite. I really like that device. The Capcom one that came out recently with the Mega Man games and the Street Fighter games, I was extremely impressed by the look of it, how everything was set up. And then, when you start realizing, oh, there's emulation problems with the games. That fucking sucked. Reach out to the company. They don't want to give you any information. Then, I think, oh, well, the quality's really nice, but there's these little issues here and there. And then all of a sudden it stops working. If you buy something from Amazon Japan, that's a few $100s, and it's a big ass box like this maybe, and you have to return it. Holy crap, is that a freaking hassle? I was told DHL only. My shipping was going to cost me like over $200 to ship it back to them. They said they would refund it after I shipped it and they received it, and I proved how much I paid. And there was a limit to that. So much would go to store credit, the other refunded to you. I was like, oh my God, this is such a hassle. And then it turned out it was just the power supply was fucked up. Like, that's a known issue with that Capcom Retro Station or whatever. You got to keep that stuff in mind, man. If you're importing from one of these companies out there in Japan or in, any of the Asian regions, it's a hassle to deal with if you have to have a return. Now, that leads me to, I did speak to a distributor that I know that actually confronted me about it, saying, hey, they got word that there is going to be a Western release of this that's going to be a little different. Don't have all the details, really don't know much as far as the details go. Don't know the pricing, don't know the game list and all that, but I was told it's not going to be exactly the same as this, and it's going to look different. So that could be an option. I don't know where it's going to be sold. I don't know how it's going to be sold. No details, but it is worth mentioning there is going to be a Western release for the US and Europe. Keep that in mind. I mean, we still have time to decide if you already pre-ordered this, but there is going to be another release. Holy crap. We'll have to wait and see. As soon as I have information on that, I will share it with you. But let me know down below, is this something you're going to buy? Are you interested in it? Or are you just like, no, that's too fucking much. I just play this on my Raspberry Pi, on my mom's Vibe, whatever the fuck you got going on. Let me know down below. Really do appreciate every single one of you guys hanging out with me. With that said, I'll give you guys a big ass thumb butt. Peace out. Bye-bye and boom. Bye.